And we're live. There we are. So today I was thinking maybe we can do some real simple dev on A Fox's Life 2. I've got quite a few things that we can work on. And mostly they're tying up loose ends, nothing too fancy. Before we get too invested, I'm going to see if I can play some YouTube music. It might be real loud. This is straight from the YouTube Studio library. So if there's some weird songs, don't blame me. I'm going to look at the levels. It's a little loud, maybe. Let's see if I can turn it down even more. There. Okay, I think we're all good. 0MK says hello. Hello. And let me see if I can pull. Oh yeah, it's working. Cool. I'm trying a few different things with how I've got everything set up. So please forgive me if I take a little extra time to do certain things. So I've got a to-do list, and a lot of them are 20-minute tasks at the longest. Fairly simple. I wanted to show you the map that we have. This might be used for the actual map in the game, but not certain. We're going to be focusing mostly in the areas I've already shown because I don't want to spoil the entire map before it's released. I want some reason to come and play it later. So the first thing I have written down is some lights and the tutorial area. So I think a part of the level design that I've been focusing on is, first of all, clear paths. So you kind of know where to go, or if you don't, then you know if you're off the path. Let's say you're exploring up here. Oh, here's the path. I think this will take me to where I need to go. So they kind of, I mean, they're paths. They do what paths do, right? They direct you to where you need to go. They maybe give you insight on where you haven't been, especially if it's quite an obvious path that you haven't seen. Let me see. Yeah, I'm running decent frame rate. Just making sure I'm not dropping too many frames. Yeah, seems to be running fine. Okay. So, yeah, with the level design, paths everywhere, but especially the fact that they're lighted at night. Well, I mean, they're always lit, but paths kind of lose their pathiness when it's nighttime. So if we look at the intro area, I have not built any lights here, and it kind of disappears. I mean, you can still see it. It's fairly bright because of the choice of blocks, the path block, obviously. But I think we can do something more than just, well, basically nothing. Okay, good. So I think lanterns fit this area fairly well. And because this tutorial area, let me fly back over here. I think, yeah, we stick to kind of this, but we can change it up to be more in line with these. Steal these blocks. Very simple lights, nothing too extraordinary about them. So now you have something there. I have to be a little careful because the Fox AI that runs along here might it might just clip into them, so I gotta keep them off the path enough for it to not be a problem. This looks a little weird. I'll do something like that. Because it doesn't connect, I think that'll work. And for over here, it's like I could just do something like that, but That's not too bad. Oh. Put this over here. Grab that back. So now this pops a lot more at nighttime. Nighttime is going to be one of the best ways to find points of interest because of the lights. Hopefully. There we go. Sometimes it's a little hard because of the terrain. And because it's like, where do you put it here? Because really, one block away from the path looks the best. Because if it's on the path, then it's just in your way. So it's like, do you put it here? You can put it back another block. And keep it the shorter variant, maybe. That works. And then we can return to these lights. Real simple. As needed. Make it sure that you can't jump there. I mean, you can always get up here with just skip that whole section. It's probably faster if you're a speedrunner. I think that's sufficient. There's a little dark spot. That's okay. That's not really that interesting. Here might be a good spot for... like so. That way it really highlights the box to push it. And then just about done with this first task already. Not bad. There we go. Lots of lights. Now this one I'm not sure about because part of it is kind of looking out over this area. So maybe I'll leave this for now. And really, you'll never be here again, unless you want to set your spawn, then go up there the shortcut way once you get Pounce level 2. So I'm going to count this one as done. Not bad. Okay. I said we're going to stick to the main 2 islands, but or main first 3 islands, but there's also a little fire that got put out here. And the reason it got put out is, let me see if I can become a fox. When you're a fox, you can actually stomp out fire. But you can't just set block fire because it will be immediately disappear. So we gotta find something that'll force it to be lit. And I'm not sure what. I could just put a campfire. Oh, I just dropped it. So I mean, that doesn't look terrible. It's about the same. But the smoke is kind of undesirable. Another option is to replace these with Soulfire. And how they got here to begin with was a world edit. Which kind of blends in with the blue of that more. So I think I might just do that. So if I do... oh, that puts it out too, okay. I can just do that, that's not too hard. And I'm pretty sure the Fox does not put this out. It can be a Special case, yeah. I hate how you have orange fire coming from the blue fire. But this will at least solve the problem of you putting it out. And maybe there'll be traps later where there will be blue fire and you can't put it out to easily overcome it, which works fairly well. Not bad. It looks pretty good. I'll count that as done. Oh, I was reading my notes. I'm like, I'm not sure what that one is. It's open up areas. So if we fly down here, this island that I'm hovering over, this island as well as this island are both unused, completely unused. So there's not too much that I have planned for them. However, I might plan something really fun, and I think I'll just spoil it now. If we have time, I might make mini games. So if you think of the early PlayStation 1 and 2 adventure games, usually the first iteration, like the first thing in a series of games, didn't have mini games, but then the second one, almost all of them did. A lot of them did, not all of them, but a lot of them did. So you have your main adventure game, which is like 99% of the content. But then you also, if you want to play with friends, there's like a handful of mini games you can play. So I was thinking of making this section, as well as other sections like over here, which is unused, all into mini games. So we might clear that out later. That's going to be low priority though. So before we do that, let's do a simple one that's kind of been bothering me. So it has to do with paths. Paths are very time consuming because they're just kind of fun. I really like this snow path. You've got snow piled up, so it looks like it's been shoveled. And then kind of a dirty, trampled snow in the middle with the diorite. But if you come over here, this kind of needs to be piled on the sides. So if I clear out my inventory, get that, get some normal snow. And 90% of it is just doing this. That looks, I mean, this is going to look immediately better. I think this might have just been forgotten. There's a lot of details that are easy to forget just because of the amount of details there are. So you just pile this up. One thing I've thought about doing for this area is setting the biome to, what is it called? Pose 1. Basalt deltas. So if I fly away, look down through stuff so you don't spoil too much of the map. If I fly back, can't really see it except for the nasty yellow grass. But you've got this built-in snow with the basalt deltas. It just looks really nice. The only problem is when it's actually snowing, I don't think it gets, yeah, it doesn't look like it rains. Although the weather, the sky looking like that plus the flakes, it's kind of nice. So I don't know what's better, to have it always just flaking and having nasty, nasty yellow grass here, which I think I can fix if I get myself a debug stick and do that. That's a little bit better. Because I really like the snow, but it's also kind of a, can't use any grass or fern it'll just look terrible. So there's that. I undid it, so I'll have to also clear the weather. Should be fixed over here. Yep. Okay. Not too bad. There we go. Kind of pile it up. Yeah, it still works as a staircase. That's an easy thing to mistake. This all looks good. Just pile some snow up. Give it a little bit more detail. I'm surprised they haven't added any more blocks other than snow that has this property of being stacked this much. Like, I feel like they should have added something. And in terms of light sources, we don't have that many interesting shaped light sources. Like 90% of them are just blocks. Which, I mean, are nice. It's nice with the sea pickle edition, the candle edition, and the lanterns. We're all pretty good. Kind of in-betweens for that. Where they're not just a boring new block. Although they kind of reverted that with the frog lights. I thought, at least. Although, green frog light, kind of cool. The verdant one. Don't really have a green light. And the pearlescent's kind of nice for certain builds. So I'm not complaining too much. No one will complain about more blocks. Just waiting for them to add something to where you can just add your own blocks to the game, and then things will be very different after that. I think Bedrock might have something like that already. So that's a lot better. Yeah, I like that. It's a really annoying tree in the middle. Gotta have some of those. So you may have noticed throughout devlogs, we've got these pillars, and Mooney, or I'm not sure how to say his name. I think it's DXM Carlin has helped us with plotting them, because in the first map there's a couple holes here and there that just you could soft lock yourself, and then it's people complain, and I made it pretty easy to go into creative to fix that, but I wanted these, or I mean, I'm glad he plotted these for us. So we can just do some of this. Since this area is done, we don't have a reason to use those caves anymore. Sometimes I like to save them if there's a diamond or just a little emerald pit in them. And if they're big, like, let me get some night vision so it's not pitch black. Alright, let's get the splash, that's faster. So see, sometimes caves are just massive. And when they're across the border, I think caves look terrible. Like, this just looks really bad. So try to avoid this. But we might save these caves, some of them, for the more open ones, for the mini games I talked about earlier. The real small ones I'm gonna try filling up. Illegal grass. There we go. So I'll try to get rid of most of these. Got 2 there, it looks like. I think these are soft lock. Yeah. So the magenta, or the amethyst, will soft lock. It's funny, some of them grew a little bit. The black stain, they won't soft lock, but they can cause a problem. Because anytime a player can go somewhere, they will. One way or another. It's not your playtester, it's somebody else. So it's one principle I've had to live by on this map in terms of planning. Yeah, I think this can be covered pretty easily. Nice. I think that's it for this area. So fly around. I don't think there's any past. Yeah. So what's funny is if you go past the border, things just get really ugly really quick. But you can't see it. Like from here, it almost looks like that's all snow. It's not. It's very messy. If you get up to here, it's pretty bad. But player most likely won't care because they're not going to be up there. This path I think is all mostly good. You can pile some snow. Oh, this powdered snow. So powdered snow is, I wish we used it a little bit more in this area, but sometimes can't have everything. There we go. A little bit better. This I think looks pretty bad, but it's all powdered snow, so it's, or a lot of it is. There we go. Keep it nice and simple. Yeah, it looks better. Can't be dirty piles of snow if there's no no snow. Sorry. Had to collect my thoughts there for a second. I think we can round this off some. There we go. Then just pile it. All powdered snow. There, round it off. Still powdered snow. I think we're back to normal snow here. Test still on? He was on earlier when he, I mean, obviously, because he left. Probably should have said welcome back. Now I feel bad. It's a little bit better. Nice. So I think we can do a quick fly around. This is a little interesting. At this point, it's like not really dirty snow, but it might be. I don't know. We can leave this because I think it's like snow that settled on it and then it's a little bit browned from the brown below. I don't know. And I think there's a diamond, yeah, down here. It doesn't make sense to go from this point up to here, but maybe we can add some sort of story of like skeleton skulls or something. Ooh, that's interesting. Here's another big chunk of unused land that we can use for mini games. Oh, there goes the night vision. Once this goes out, notice how the paths pop, hopefully. So you can see, let's clear chat. Follow it with the light. Follow it down here especially. This thing's real bright. Something, little point of interest here, going up the mountain there. So all that stuff really adds a lot. Especially if you have shaders on. Let me turn Silders on, one of the best ones. So at nighttime, see light, light. They don't light up very much of the land. I think you can adjust that, but I've never bothered. Really like the hazy effect that this shader has. But all right, so I think we got all the pillars gotten rid of in the first island. We can. One thing I thought about looking at, but it might be okay. Thought about adding seagrass and stuff. I never touched this after I built it. Just a couple bone meal will fix it. Yeah, it's okay. That's not too bad. And this, nothing would really grow here. Kind of an unfortunate I mean, the shape is nice. It works. Normally waterfalls carve a groove out of things though, so like this doesn't make sense that it's coming out. I guess it has carved a groove to some extent. Oh well, we're not going to focus on that too much. You're only going to be here for a little bit. Yeah, there wouldn't really be grass there, and yeah, not much here. Well, maybe in here. Sure. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of details like that add a lot. So we see big chunk of land. I think I'm gonna skip the next thing on my list because it's quite tedious, especially in this area. And I don't know if I'm gonna use some of these, but I'm hoping to fill a lot of the land in. Like, so you've got this right here, right? So if I just do pose 1, pose 2, and just get rid of it. So the more of those you do, it's slightly more performant for the world. I'm pretty sure. At least for your frame rate. And if not, then if you're a spectator, then when you fly through the ground and you only see the highlighted spots of like where you are gonna be, then that's kind of nice at the very least. My window's shining light right in my glass, which is bouncing right into my eye. It's bothered me. There, it's fixed. So I think we'll skip that. Icy caves. Did we make? Yeah, we did make icicles. Good. It's essential. Can't not have icicles. I guess this doesn't really need to be here, but it's whatever. This thing, very unique. I've had the other arena, which kind of looked terrible, but this one is definitely stands out. Attention grabbing. All right, so here we go. Here's something that I'm not terrible at, but I'm also not very good at. So we have little villagers that you can trade with that you shouldn't be able to trade with. And I mean, like, they're just sitting here, but it doesn't look like they're working. I mean, they're all looking up because there's a fox up there, I think. But this isn't really a working area, so I can grab these item frames. These are special item frames that you can easily place down, and there's nothing there. So you can place down. Rotate them a little bit. There. Then maybe we have rabbit hides that are like more processed. There we go. See how that works. So I think that looks a little bit better. And then over here, maybe a sword for like a knife. Probably leave it like that, actually. Just grab it by the handle. Maybe like this. And then maybe some of this stuff. Like this is the carvings. Real simple. There we go. Here's my green water that's dirty. I wish you could set these inside, but you can only place them on top, which isn't terrible, but... So, just those 10 or so item frames give a little bit more detail. It's kind of nice. And there's also a website, I think it's called... look up heads, just minecraft-heads.com. So there's, if you want to just get some heads, there's a bunch of real nice stuff. Yeah, he's a level worker. I'm making sure he's not the butcher. So we can add details like that, but then there's, let me see if I can find, I gotta get myself a command block. So a lot of people have made all sorts of heads that you can use for whatever you need. So let me see here. Is there any brown looking bottles? Here's a bottle of whiskey, which I think would be... Copy it and then paste it here. So this kind of looks like maybe tannin that they use for the leather process. Not terrible. Maybe they have a... Let's get a wooden slab. Actually, let me go back. I can get an empty one and put the full one up on a shelf. Slab. Yeah, oak would work. So, it goes back to my old saying, why make something when someone else has already made it for you? Sorry, responding to a text. There we go. So let me pull this back up. So little details like that add a lot of life to an area. These are just drying, so I don't need to add anything. Gotta get rid of the command block, of course. So over here, there's going to be the actual shop that you use. If you're a fox, you interact with one of these 3 items and then interact with it again, and it'll buy it. If you have the money, of course. So I think we're going to have an NPC in here. Maybe... Oops. Oh, there's a hole there. That's kind of scary. We'll do that. And repair. But we can bring things all around this. And maybe have shelves. Oh, gotta love the path block. Doesn't want to stay path. There's probably better anyways. So, get these big long commands. I'm gonna try to find another head. I think bottles are really nice. Green goo in a bottle. That might work. Like with honey. Honey's a nice one. So go with the honey. Honey there, and then we'll get some... Oh, I'll just wear it. We'll get some item frames around here. Maybe he's... To get the snow, he has a snow block and like chisels it out to give you snowballs. I don't know. Maybe some sand and gunpowder for the TNT. So this type of stuff is kind of fun, just trying to tell a story. I'm not very good at it, but it's fun. So he's got some TNT making stuff, snow for that. Something with more depth maybe. Like a brewing stand would be kind of nice. Just in the middle, yeah. Brewing stands are good for that type of thing. So I think this works. I want to keep this counter fairly clean because don't want the player messing with it too much, because they're going to be clicking on these 3 item frames. So just doing stuff like that, it really helps a lot, I think. So we could run around and do that. I mean, we could do that type of stuff for hours. Can I place these? You can. What's something that's orange? Maybe banners? Because this area's color is... Oh, wait, no, it's red, isn't it? It's red. Okay. Maybe we'll get red banners then. Wait, how's it red? I thought it was orange. No, that... Okay. Yeah, that's right. This area is red. The next area is orange. So I can't place those there, but we can place them here. Fairly interesting. And I think if we angle this, kind of reflects, draws your attention to the middle a little bit. And then maybe some bottles of experience. Actually, just one in the middle. One on the lectern. Nah, that looks kind of dumb. I think that's pretty good. I don't want it to be too busy in here, because you're mostly collecting chests and then running away. Not bad. Here is a nice place for some not item frames, some papers, and a empty map. Maybe a filled map. We'll just remove that. Not bad. Those houses I'm just going to ignore, because you're honestly not supposed to be in them. You always have places like that where it's like, yes, you can go there, but it's not really fun. So he gives you refined stuff. Maybe if I give quartz. And then maybe a pickaxe, like that's what he uses to chisel stuff with. Kind of like that. When it's like that, yeah. Couple simple things. The more things that you add, of course, the more laggy it gets, so that's always a big problem. Yeah, I really like that now. Get rid of that. Library is kind of a pretty dense spot. Let's do the farmer's house first. We'll add your mom to his tools that he uses. Maybe he's been experimenting with seeds. And he's been making flour. Oh, we don't have normal sugar. I mean, we do, but it's invisible. That's the problem with sometimes you make stuff like that, and you keep stealing from resources for other places, and then you end up not having anything to work with. But we can just do wheat. There. Not smart to put it next to the candles. It might light on fire. Oh well. The farmer, the fisherman's down here. This I think we need some sort of head for. Maybe on the wall we can find a fish. At least a fishing rod, of course. Does he eat fish? Probably, right? We'll do a tell a story with a stone sword and a probably no, we'll do salmon because that's probably what he catches here. Picks it up, cuts the head off. Actually, you eat it, supposedly. I mean, that's not terrible. Let me see if I can find a good head for it. If I search. Oh. Fish. Should just add Nemo's head to the wall. That'd be kind of funny. It's kind of tempting, actually. Let's do it. That's really scary. Yeah, I like that. That's his trophy. So we've got those. House. I think this is treated as a house, even though I think it's mason. We've got this building, the blacksmith, which is basically empty, I think. Oh no, it's actually fairly furnished. Maybe he would have a shovel? No, yeah, shovel to... Sure. Some coal. No, maybe not. Maybe a block of coal. That'll work. You're not going to be in there for very long. And here we can put some raw iron ore. There we go. And then finally, don't want to do the library yet because that's going to be a lot of work. This, I think, is the armor, yeah. Oh. Got some iron going on. There we go. Oh. I had to make the your mom joke. I mean, come on. It's such a low-hanging fruit. I think just that chest plate's pretty good. Yeah, that's just a house. So the last one would be the library. Actually, there's no surfaces for things to be. I might just skip the library. The outdoor reading area. this building doesn't make any sense. But because it's so tight in there, and you're playing F5 most of the time, the glass hangs out. So that's why I kind of made it so glass heavy. Because it's not too jarring when it's... If you're like really close to the wall, it will, but... But that's pretty much the village. we'll skip that area. Got the pillars done. I think we're getting close to an hour. I might just leave it off here. So keep it simple. Quite a bit of work done. My music stopped playing, didn't it? Oh well. So sorry about that. Let me get my milk and then we can say goodbye. Alright, thanks for watching. I don't know if I'll do more streams like this. There's a lot of loose ends to tie up, but a lot of them are kind of boring. So, we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Gotta open chat up to close out OBS and stop streaming.